Culture Corner. We are pissing off the bug boys. And by that, we mean we are
the Klaus Schwab
touting a new study that says that you can have your red meat and dairy and like it.
And eat it too.
Yeah. And we're happy to report this news to you because there is nothing that feels better than not changing your lifestyle at all, but then getting confirmation that you were right the whole time. Because I wasn't going to change it anyway. Even if this study said you're going to die tomorrow if you eat steak, I was still going to eat it. But it's nice to know that it's actually good for me.
I think we did a couple of those things, like hairy palms, going blind. Didn't stop us for love of the game, God damn it. Like scrambly TV. You young kids wouldn't know that. The struggle of watching a channel that your parents didn't pay for and just, I think that's a tit. Anyway. What are you talking about, Dane?
So late last year, before Thanksgiving, there was a study that was performed, and I'm just going to read you the title of the New York Post article, and it'll be linked below, so you can go there and also click on the link to get to the study itself. But the title says, quote, "Eating red meat and dairy could help fight cancer. Intriguing new study." So,
but wait, Dane, I thought red meat was bad for you. I thought it caused high cholesterol.
According to the government experts that made that bullshit food pyramid that was all shoved down our throats, no pun intended.
Where the most you were supposed to have was carbs and breads and noodles and all that shit.
All the shit
that makes you... Put some cereal and orange juice in there too. Really ramp up the kids' sugar intake.
All the kid that makes you, or all the stuff that makes you fat and lethargic and creates inflammation in the body. Yeah. Actually, it's the things in the smaller categories, the meat and dairy categories, that you should have been having more of. And here's why. From the article, some scientists at the University of Chicago have discovered that a compound in red meat, dairy, and other products might help your body's immune cells fight off tumors. The compound, known as Trans-vaccenic acid, or TVA, seems to activate the T cells in your body. And from, high school sophomore biology, T cells are the white blood cells that go around and kill the bad things in your body. So it activates T cells in your body, which help your immune system fight germs and protect you from disease. This TVA is found in the meat of ruminants, such as cows, sheep, and other mammals, as well as their dairy products like milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt. So, David.
So I know you're not, vitamin D's?
Yeah, vitamin D's nuts. I know that you're not a big dairy guy. You are a big red meat guy.
I eat cheese on the reg.
I'm a big both guy. And it sounds like we're going to live forever.
A gallon of milk can hit a whole milk, by the way. In his household, doesn't last a week.
The good stuff.
Barely like 2 days.
Yeah. Why do you think these teeth are like...
It's like some kind of milk holocaust over there or something.
Why do you think these teeth have been perfect and cavity-less my entire life?
What?
What?
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. So, David, before I'm going to scroll through the article to get in the next section, I want to quote. So take it away. Tell the people why red meat for your health.
Red meat for your health, because cows fart. We need to get rid of those disgusting fucks. All right? No, but it's. I mean, if you've been paying attention to anything dietarily speaking, is that protein good, feeds muscle, carbs, sugars, refined nutrients not good, inflammation makes sick. But again, there's been a lot of misrepresentation on the nutritional side of meat, because there's like I said, that study along fucking years ago that said red meat leads to higher cholesterol and more health problems, colon cancer, yada, yada. What they didn't do, it's kind of like people that smoke actually live a longer, more fruitful life. Well, what they did is people that smoked and quit, they added them to the population too. Well, what they did with this is they included all the people eating like the fast foods, the burgers, all the crappy version, all the processed salami, Oscar Mayer wieners and all that shit. They threw that in there. Well, yeah, if it's highly processed, full of nitrates and all. And granted, the meat that you get in the market isn't completely removed from that, but it's a good start. So what I believe this study says is that the red meat that you get, like steaks, like loins, like cuts that you get from like the butcher section of your supermarket, not the, pack of...
Right. The further you get it removed from the processing process, for lack of a better term.
The less process there is in it.
Yeah. Right. The better you go. So actually, probably the best thing you could do
is go hunting.
And these things are popping up all over the country. And allow me to take this brief little tangent to say that call your representatives, not your senators yet. There might be a Senate version in the Senate now.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Thomas Massie has been trying to put forth a bill in Congress for the past few years, and it's starting to pick up steam, and it's called the Prime Act. And what Massie's point is that the way we have our current meat system set up, where there's basically 4, conglomerate companies that control almost the entire meat market, and 2 of them are not even domestic. They're from China and Brazil. He says, listen, if we want to break up this major cartel in the delivery of meat to everybody's dinner tables,
local farmers.
What I want to do is I want to say, if you have the meat producer, the farmer, the packager, the processor, and the consumer are all within the same state, so it's not traveling in interstate commerce, then the people should be able to buy that completely separate and apart from any federal regulations that govern it. And so the ostensible purpose of that is to encourage people in state locally. And again, the bug eaters and the Greenpeacers are really going to love this part of it, because if they can't stop us from eating meat, this is the next best thing. Is in addition to having more quality control over your meat when you buy it directly from your local farmer, rather than some farmer halfway across the country or the world, in the case of the Brazil packers and stuff like that, is you also reduce greenhouse gas emissions in not having trucks and ships having to travel all the way across the world to get the meat from the farm to your table. So win, 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 win. Everybody wins. So call your congressman, tell them to support Thomas Massie's Prime Act. Brief tangent done. It's good for the soul. And apparently your ability to fight off cancer.
And no, you being an Amazon Prime member does not make you a member of the Prime Act. It doesn't work that way. So you're going to have to put in the effort a little bit.
Yes.
Or you can learn to hunt. So anyway, all that being said, and before these vegans get out there and they say, well, still, all those emissions, remind me again, comparably, even with the way that our meat's made now, carbon emissions, cutting up a cow, making steaks out of it, ground beef, yada, 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 versus crops.
Clear cutting forests.
How many animals die in that too? How many animals die in that? Because and then the carbon emissions, and then
not to mention you're cutting down a shit ton of trees, which pull the carbon out of the atmosphere.
And then the nutrients, and if they're trying to make a very
point
popular,
is, vegans, you have no moral high ground.
Eat air, you bastards.
Just a couple last quick points about the study and how solid this advice is. From the article, it says the researchers also found that feeding mice a diet rich in TVA significantly reduced the tumor growth of melanoma and colon cancer cells and enhanced the body's ability to infiltrate and attack tumors. They also analyzed blood samples from lymphoma patients undergoing immunotherapy treatment. So even if you already have cancer, it helps. And that led to the discovery that patients who had higher levels of TVA in their blood responded better to treatment than patients with lower levels. Finally, the study revealed that TVA enhanced the ability of an immunotherapy drug to kill leukemia cells in patients. So, helps you not get it in the first place, and if you're unfortunate to have already gotten it, it will also help you fight it off. So, red meat and dairy all the way around, folks. It's what the doctor ordered. A steak a day keeps the doctor away.
My goodness.
Gotta love it.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I know. When I was just going to do what the hell I was doing anyway.
I was like,
now I know it's good for me.